When we first open up the BOE database, it looks like there's a lot going on here, so I'm going to go over some of the basics to get us started. First, we'll start with sorting the data. By default, the data is sorted by BOE date, agenda page number, and item number if applicable. The most recent BOE date captured is considered first, and the furthest BOE date captured is considered last. And if I wanted to read an agenda backwards, I would reverse the ordering of agenda page as well as item number. We can sort by any column available in this table. So let's get rid of the default sort. And let's say we want to add a sort by submitting agency. And maybe we want to add submission category to that. And if we wanted to reverse these two, we could do it just like that. The next topic we'll discuss is grouping. Similar to sorting, we can group by any column available. So we'll start off by grouping on BOE date, and I'll collapse this to make it easier to see the groupings by BOE date. We can also add extra groupings to subset the data further. In this instance, I'll choose submitting agency, and I'll expand all. We can now see records on each agenda grouped together by agency. The filter option allows us to view items that satisfy certain criteria. For example, if I wanted to see all the items related to Johns Hopkins, I would select the supplier vendor column and I would keep the contains operator and type in Johns Hopkins as the value. And here are my results. Another example for using the filter option could be filtering for extra work orders. To find extra work orders, I can navigate to the action submitted for approval column, and I can keep has any of, and I would type in extra work order and select extra work order. And I have my results. And let's say I wanted to filter this down a bit further. We filter on submitting agency. And let's say I only want to see the extra work orders from DPW. And now I can see all the extra work orders submitted by DPW. There are quite a few columns in this table, and maybe some of them don't contain information pertinent to what we're looking for. So to better utilize our screen real estate, we can go up to hide fields and hide all of the fields that we don't actually care to see. We can also make use of the magnifying glass icon to search for key terms in the data. So say for example, I type in tax sale, and tax sale is mentioned 321 times in this table. And I can go through each individual instance of tax sale. By selecting the Views button, we can see all the different views made available to us. Most of the views are in tabular form, but utilize a variation of filtering, grouping, and sorting that were previously discussed. Other custom views are using Kanban, Timeline, and calendar-specific views. Now that we've covered some of the basics, let's try and apply these tools to create our own custom view. Maybe we want to see what items pertaining to ARPA funds have come before the BOE. I don't really care to see anything unrelated, so I'll go to Filter, Add Condition, and I will choose Title, and enter in ARPA as the value, and I will keep Contain selected because I want my results to contain the acronym ARPA. If I had chosen is, then I would get results where ARPA is the only thing in the title. And we can clearly see that there are no results when I choose is, so I'll change that back to contains. And here are our results. Now I'll group by submitting agency to make this a little bit cleaner. And if I scroll all the way to the right, I can see some of these items were deferred or withdrawn from an agenda. And I really only care to see items that received BOE approval. So I want to filter out anything that was deferred or withdrawn. To do this, I will make my way back up to Filter, and I'll add a condition. And we'll leave this and alone for now. And I will scroll all the way down to Other Action Taken. And we want to see results where other action taken is not deferred or withdrawn, or some variation of these actions. And by selecting is not, we only get to choose one. So I'll want to choose is none of, so I can choose more than one. And so now I've removed items that have been withdrawn or deferred from an agenda. With that being said, moving back to our filter to the AND selection, we have the choice of AND or. By choosing AND, we're saying we want our results to satisfy both of these conditions. By choosing OR, we're saying that we want results where either of these conditions hold. And if we choose OR, we're getting results where the title contains ARPA and all of the items that weren't deferred or withdrawn. And this is way more records than we want to see, so we'll switch that back to and this is our full list of ARPA records. From here, we can click on any record and view its details in a pop-up. We can also click on the vendor and view any linked records.